So this is like what, our third interview today. We're about to start.
Third or fourth. We're keeping it rolling. We're back in the back of Tim Shaw Coffee. It's very pretty back here.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like the wallpaper.
You-
Bagels came.
Mr. Doyle just served your bagel to you. I guess he's working here now. Who knows? At this
Probably
point.
millions of jobs, but we're about to talk to Mr. Ernest Hedrick. He's a part of the Norristown NAACP.
Yeah, he's a big figure in Norristown. He used to be a guidance counselor at the high.
His family's really well known. I think he coached track at the high school for a number of years. A really good track team at that time.
Yeah, so I guess we'll learn. Jerome's going to be interviewing today, so Jerome can get all the scoop for the audience.
Definitely. So I'm gonna hand the mic off to Jerome. Here you go.
Hello, my name is Jerome. I'm here with Mr. Ernie Hadrick to talk about the NAACP in Norristown. So, Mr. Hadrick, what does the I know that there's a national chapter, there's a national organization for the NAACP. What do you guys do in Norristown, and do you guys have a specific mission in Norristown?
Yes. Well, first of all, the NAACP is over 100 years old nationally. Our branch here in Norristown is 60 years old this year. And what we do is we have a constitution naturally that tells us what committees we should have: education, labor and industry, legal redress that helps people who are having problems legally, or that could be legally, and a varied other religious committee, who helps us interact with the churches here. And those kind of activities are designated by the national constitution that we do. And we're doing a fair amount of them. We also work with other branches in the county. It's 6 of us all together, and we work on county-wide initiatives, like recently with all the activities going on around the country with people getting shot and by police or whatever. Now we're working with 26 police departments county-wide to help stop those kind of things in the future. So that's kind of like, in a nutshell, what we do. I mean, this next month we're going to be saluting 8th graders, seniors who've come through our scholarship program. We honor them in 8th grade, stellar African American students. And when they get to be seniors, we honor them again with a scholarship. Okay. So, but we want to also develop a program in the meantime for those high school students to get out and look at career opportunities, colleges, and ever. And we might be doing that in the future with the Norristown Men of Excellence, which is a group of men that are very involved in our community. Okay. Yeah.
So, Norristown Era High School and the area itself, Norristown, the municipality, is like a minority-majority area, especially the high school. How do you guys take it on yourself to be like an interest to like engage students, minority students from the high school, to like pursue like further the education at like an HBCU?
Not necessarily HBCUs, but I mean, I went to a HBCU myself, Morgan State. It's in Baltimore. I had a track scholarship there and kind of goofed it up because I didn't have my head on straight at that time. But we definitely want to see students go to the college of their choice. There's some very interesting things that go on in an HBCU that don't go on in other universities. But students have to go and survey the options, visit the colleges, whatever college it is, and make a decision. And so it's not just the HBCUs, but we do encourage, let me back up. We have a youth division, and we had a great event in September, but what was missing was students. Our advisor went to the high school, made a commercial on NSD TV. We couldn't get any students out. We had a big event at the Powell Center. We had no students come up. So we have to get the involvement of students so they can do what we do on their level. And with our students a few years ago, we took them to Yale University to experience the great debate. It was a competition up there with several universities. That was exciting. And it was also eye-opening to me to tour Yale University. So we got to have students so we can get them to these places. And right now we don't have that. And it's kind of hurting us that we can't get those students back like we did 6-7 years ago.
Okay. So not specifically for minority students, but for like everyone in the districts, you want to just try to like, so every student in the community, especially, we want to like aid them and like give them an opportunity to like further their education through like counseling and support.
Yes, what I mean, we haven't directly came to the district for that purpose, but we support. I mean, that kind of activity. We developed a parent education program that we really didn't get the support of the community, and it was to educate parents how to navigate different things in our community. But when we did that, we had colleges, as vendors at the activity. Our students, We Are Stronger, we had a big event at the Simmons Park. We had college. It was an anti-violence rally, but we had colleges there to expose kids to that type of information. So we kind of did it, and we like to do it again, but we have to have students to pull that off.
Okay.
And we need more adults to pull off what we're trying to do, because we have committees that we don't have enough adult involvement in.
So, what has the NAACP's relationship been with like the school district in order to like get these get not only high school students but like specifically high school students but like students across the district like engage in these services and be able to like contribute to their community through your organization?
Well, like I said, we've had programs. We had a major reading program. We had banners across the streets, and we had publicity to further that, and we worked with Gotwall School, and that was try to work with the kids, and then also expand out to, we had business leaders support that program, and we took pictures of them, we put them on posters, we distributed some real classy posters around town just to get people to read. The district attorney was one of them, a banker might have been another, the pizza shop guy was another one that we featured that supported reading. And that was one of our greatest activities. But, we feel that after we had a meeting with the school board the other night, we weren't in favor of an activity that they did. But we realized more and more that we have to be more proactive with the district and not viewed as some reactive group, which we kind of been. And we feel we need to do that too when we have to. But we rather get ahead of the game and let the school district tell us, be more communicative with us so we can help involve more parents, in our activities. We want to reach out to church people that don't have anything to do with us, legal, members of ours, but they have a lot to contribute, and that's kind of missing in this community, that people don't really understand their rights, their responsibilities as parents and stuff. So we've worked on that, and we want to continue to work on that.
Okay. So one of your main goals is just trying to be like, just like an advocate, like a voice for the community, just like representing their like concerns to like the school board and the school district as a whole.
Yes, that's exactly. We want to be a conduit between the schools, between the police, between the business community, which we have to strengthen. That part of our organization. It's just with the religious community. We have a young lady who is our religious chairperson, and she gets more involvement from the religious community, or she tries to get that. Just like the education committee, which I chair, we try to be more active with the school district, and I hope to strengthen that and not to wait till we don't like something, to challenge the district. We want to be upfront so we can get the district activities that they don't really talk about well. They don't put that out to the community well, and we want to strengthen that, so we're working together as partners.
Okay. So other than like speaking about like trying to like connect with the school district, you also mentioned like connections with like the police. So like, is it specifically because like Northtown is like a majority like minority majority like community? Do you want to like avert like some of the issues that have happened with other like cities with minority majority populations where there've been shootings with police and like reports of brutality against citizens by police?
Oh gosh, that's one of our best projects, and we're working with the other branches in the Montgomery County, which is Willow Grove, Pottstown, Ambler, the main line like Ardmore, Cheltenham, and us. And we felt the need to have a countywide committee that would address certain issues. And with all the shootings that have occurred, around the country between, with police officers and black men, basically, we felt the need to gather. We had a big rally at the courthouse, and we asked for the police departments to step up. The Norristown police chief stepped up. He was running a program that President Obama developed for the purpose of working more closely, the community and the community policing. So we had this rally. We challenged the police departments. They all came together, or their representatives, and we trained with them on bias training, implicit bias. And then we also had them sign off an agreement with us that they would have their officers be mindful of these issues. So far we haven't had an issue, but we felt that was a proactive move, and the police departments, who are oftentimes viewed as adversaries with us, we worked together. It was monumental activity. And we still, we have meetings with them a few times a year to make sure that stays intact.
So they're very open, cooperative with you guys in order to try to community, so you guys to just connecting with these issues to avoid confrontations. So they're what you're saying is that they're very cooperative with you guys.
Yes, very cooperative. And we support that. We've known that all departments haven't been cooperative over the years, but they had to see the impact of what they're doing and maybe change or expand what they're doing if it's very positive. We had a young lady from who was a trainer in that area of bias, training to get people to be more unbiased. And she came and she presented us for 2 days. We had the police and the NAACP representatives together. We had a couple of representatives from the Latino community there. Latino businessmen were there. And we have a lot of them in Norristown, whether people realize it or not. Business people there. And we also started an initiative most recently with Aclamo, which is a Latino organization. And we work with them. We had a free dental clinic last year, and it was phenomenal. And about 60% of the people were Latino that came and got those services. So we're trying to work it, but we need more volunteers, adult volunteers, and youth volunteers.
You also mentioned the legal redress department, and how does that operate? And also the business department, do you guys just do that to promote these businesses, or do you guys also try to get employment for people in the community to work at these businesses?
Well, we try to, when they open up the new hospital, we were involved to make sure that local citizens got jobs. We work with the labor committee to see that there's more job activity in our community when they're building the new hospital, or when they're building a new wing to the courthouse. We want to get information from the labor community to share with folks so they can get jobs. Now you mentioned one other thing there.
I mentioned legal redress. How does that operate? What services do you guys provide, and what you guys do?
We legal redress in its ideal form. If you had a problem on your job and you felt discriminated against, we would go in and advocate for you. If you're a teacher and you have a problem with discrimination, we would try to help. We just got a complaint from a hotel employee who is discriminated against regarding his salary. He's doing work that he doesn't feel he's properly compensated for. So we're going to advocate for him. So that's the kind of things we do, and that's been a strength of the organization countrywide, nationally. But we have to have people step up and join us. We
members of the community just engage and
right,
cooperating.
Right, and you being a lawyer would help. But in the past we've had law students, Villanova University Law School. They came out and they presented to our attendees at that meeting how to know your rights when you're dealing with police or whatever. So we can expand that to others in the community who have a need, who are being directly confronted with an issue, and we can support them. So that's in a nutshell how that works. That works, and we're very proud of what we've done and what we could do with the limited number of people. But we had a major Black History event. We had 4 activities every week. We had a gospel concert one week, a prayer breakfast the next week. We had an event where we showed movies, to all different kind of movies related to our cause, and a film festival. That's what it was called. And then the last week we had a luncheon, a Black History luncheon, where we honored all the oldest churches in our community. And that was 350 people there, and this is an exceptional event. Okay. And let me tell you one more event that we do. We collaborate with Mr. Doyle's theater group, and we have a Juneteenth celebration. And the Juneteenth is to mark the end of slavery in 1865. And Mr. Doyle and the NAACP cooperated to have a tour of downtown Norristown, and on those tour sites would be actors portraying historical figures in history that came to Norristown.
Well, that sounds like a very interesting event, but sadly we're out of time. But thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Mr. Hadrick, I'm sorry. Mr. Ernie.
Fletcher, though. Maybe I'll change my name.
I like well, thank you, Mr. Ernie Hadrick. We're talking about the NAACP and its Northtown chapter and the things that it does for our community. We're on location at Tim Shaw Coffee Shop in downtown Norristown on Main and DeKalb. So live NASD TV Eagles Eye live on location.